The next difference is a structural programming language does not support data encapsulation, whereas an object-oriented programming language supports data encapsulation. Now, what is this data encapsulation? Initially, when I started with the lecture, I said that objects in C++ consist of data members and member functions. So, data members and member function are encapsulated together in an object, whereas this is not the case with respect to structural programming language. Data and the member function are not binded together, whereas in object-oriented programming languages, data and the member function are binded together or encapsulated together, and this functionality is called data encapsulation. Okay, so C++ supports data encapsulation, whereas C doesn't support data encapsulation. The next feature which is not available in structural programming language is data abstraction. Okay, now what is this data abstraction? Data abstraction means that you are hiding the implementation details of the function. Okay, suppose a function is given to you and you need to use that function. Okay, the function is already implemented by the programmer and the function is given to you. Okay, you will have no idea how the function is being implemented. You are going to just use that function. So this feature is very prominent in object-oriented programming language, and hence it supports data abstraction, whereas your C or structural programming language does not support data abstraction. Another feature which is not available in structural programming language is polymorphism. Polymorphism means one man doing multiple tasks, multitasking. Okay, technically speaking, it means one function doing multiple tasks. For example, suppose I want to write a function which adds two integer numbers. So what will I do? I'll define a function add and I'll pass two parameters of type integers. Further down the line, I want to now add two floating point numbers. So what will I do? I'll write a function add and I'll pass two floating point parameters. Now suppose I want to add two long integers. What will I do? I'll write another function add and I'll pass two long integer parameters. But if you consider in C programming language, I cannot have more than one function having the same name, right? Can I have two functions with the same name in C? No, right? It's not possible for me to have two functions with the same name in any structural programming language like C. But in C++, I do have this feature called polymorphism, wherein I can have two or more functions with the same name. Okay, so I can write 1, 2, 3 or more than 3 functions with the same name add and make sure that they pass different types of parameters. The first function add will add two integers. The second function add will add two floating point numbers. The third function add will add two long integers. Okay, this is possible in C++. Polymorphism is supported in C++ or object-oriented programming language, but it is not supported in structural programming language. Is it okay? Fine. The next difference between a structural and the object-oriented programming language is, in structural programming language, adding the data and the function is difficult, is little complicated. Whereas it is easier in case of object-oriented programming language. Now, why is this point being mentioned over here? That's because, suppose I take an example of building a website, a e-commerce website for a client. Suppose a client comes to you and this client has a store which sells parts of a vehicle like cars and buses. So he comes to you and he says he wants you to build a e-commerce website wherein he can sell the parts of his vehicle like car and buses online. Okay, so instead of people going to his stores and buying things physically there, he wants them to buy the parts of the vehicles online. So what will you do? You immediately code in a page which helps the customer to buy the products online, right? So suppose you use C programming language to do that. So what will you do? You will write the code such that the customer will be able to buy the parts of the vehicles like car and bus. Okay, fine. Now suppose after some days the client comes back to you and he says, now I started selling the parts of the truck also. I have started selling the parts of a new vehicle truck. So what he wants you to do? He wants you to also add that feature in your code. So suppose you are using a structural programming language to update your code. It is quite difficult here. Okay, you need to write the code from the scratch. Just because you need to add a new functionality there, okay, you need to add new data over there, you need to write the code from scratch. You need to update the code from scratch. Whereas if you use a object-oriented programming language, adding the data or adding the functionality is quite easy. Why? Because you can simply add an object here. An object is a collection of data members and member function. So instead of updating the entire code, you need to just create one object called truck and add the data members member function into this object. So updation of code is quite simple in object oriented programming language, whereas it is little complicated if you use a structural programming language. Another important feature which you do not find in structural programming language is inheritance. So inheritance is one of the important feature wherein one class inherits or accesses the properties or features of some other class. Okay? The class which inherits the feature from some other class is called child class, and the class from which it is trying to inherit the feature is called parent class. Okay, for example, suppose there are two classes, one is the person class and the second one is the student class. Okay, so person class is having features like name, age, date of birth and things like that. And the student class has features like roll number, semester, branch, etc. Now you see here the student is also a person. Okay. So in this example, student is the child class and person is the parent class. Here, student is inheriting or accessing the features of person class. Okay, so this feature wherein the child class inherits the feature of the parent class is called inheritance. And this inheritance you find it only in object-oriented programming language. Whereas you do not have this feature in structural programming language like C, Pascal or Fortran. Okay. Similarly, I have mentioned some of the examples here for structural programming language like C, Pascal, Fortran, etc. So also the examples for object-oriented programming languages are C++, Java, JavaScript, C#, Python, PHP, okay, Smalltalk. There are many other object-oriented programming languages.